Hey guys, and welcome to IzzyBee Crafts. Today I am going to be showing you all of the art pieces that I made in my senior art class. So I do have a microphone here. I was trying to figure out best way to record the audio than other from my phone. But anyways, I just wanted to explain that and why the audio sounds a bit different. Our school divides our year into 2 semesters. So you take some classes for half the year, other classes for another half of the year. Well, I took my art classes to those 2 semesters. So I had it all year and it was awesome. I got to create so many different pieces and I thought that I would show you guys. So the first piece that I made is this. It's a watercolor painting of a bunch of all the seasons personified. This is what I think the seasons would wear and what they would kind of act like. So this is spring, summer, fall, and winter. I'd say that this is one of my better art pieces. There's a couple things about it that I wish I would have done differently, but other than that, I really like this piece. But this is an acrylic painting, and I'd say this is like a enchanted forest. It's one of the pieces that I've actually gotten a lot of compliments on. And I've actually remade this. This is the original one, but I remade this for a teacher and that teacher bought it from me. And this is one of my favorites. I really love it. And yeah, I just really think it's really cute. Yeah, I put a lot of work and detail into it, so it took me a while to finish, but I think the results are amazing. Okay, so this was actually inspired by an image that I saw on Pinterest. Again, this is another 2D piece and it's kind of a mixed media piece. I used watercolor for any of the parts that are colored, and then I used Sharpie and a line art pen for any of the black spots. I really like this painting. This is the one that I've gotten a lot of compliments on. And yeah, I put a lot of work and effort into this as well, and trying to give the flowers as much detail as I possibly could. So this next art piece was actually going to be a gift for my sister, but I wasn't completely sold on this art piece. So I ended up making her a different one and giving her that instead. This is 2 elephants. Another 2D one made from acrylic paint, and it's supposed to represent me and her with the different colored balloons. So we're really close, me and my sister, so I wanted to make her something that would represent us and how close we are. So this one with holding the pink balloon is supposed to be me, and this one holding the blue balloon is supposed to be my sister. So, and then in the middle I tried to make it look like they're a bit transparent by just mixing the color in between the balloons to make it purple. Okay, so I forgot to record this piece, but I made this for my sister for her birthday, and it's supposed to represent kind of what goes on in your head when you read, and like how your imagination can show or create an image in your head. Because I made this because she really loves reading. First semester, I also created quite a few digital art pieces, which I will insert on screen. But I really love these art pieces. I made some historically accurate Disney princess outfits. So I made a Aurora, aka Sleeping Beauty, historically accurate drawing. And then I also made a Tiana historically accurate drawing and a Belle historically accurate drawing. I had to use references from one of these movies that were set to make the outfits historically accurate. My favorite one I would have to say is Tiana's outfit. The 1920s was just a majorly different time to all the other decades. That was everything that I created in my first semester. In the second semester, I did create a few more pieces, but they're a lot smaller and I'd say they're less detailed. I did create one thing that I could not take home with me because at my school we are allowed to paint on our lockers. So I did paint something on a locker, but I will put in a photo of that. The first couple pieces that I made, which were kind of like a set or like a series or whatever you'd like to call it, was a bunch of rainbow fruit cows, which I've gotten a lot of compliments on too. A lot of people really enjoyed the way that I executed them. But again, I was inspired by some other art pieces, and you'll see that as I created them, they went into more of my own style. But I didn't copy any other people's artworks at all. So we have a strawberry cow, which is obviously the pink cow. I did a pastel rainbow just because I love pastels. They are my favorite. And then we have a mango cow, which is supposed to be the orange one. And then by one of my friends' requests, I have a banana cow. And then I have a kiwi cow. I have a blueberry cow and a grape cow. I did want to make more. I just ran out of time and wanted to move on to some other projects as well. But hope maybe it'll be an upcoming video of making more of these fruit cows. And I'd say that the first one, the strawberry cow, was definitely more in the style of the reference photo that I was looking at. But then right away when I went right into the mango cow, it went right into my own style, which I really like the mix of both because you can see how it evolved into my style. But I think if I were to do it again, I would try and keep it more in my style. So this was kind of just for fun. I didn't want to take it really seriously or anything. I just want to try it out because I've seen people online do it. But it's supposed to be one of those 3D paintings, but like with paint. So you're supposed to use really thick paint to make these 3D paintings. So I tried it. I just mixed paint with cornstarch and it did not turn out that well. When the paint dried, it cracked and it just did not turn out that well. It looked really good before it cracked, but now it doesn't. It looks like a dried up desert. This next art piece, I tried to do some surrealism, but again, I didn't put too much effort into it. I think I would try and redo it again. But this is in watercolor and it's a bee with blue butterfly wings and a copper background. I really enjoy the way that it looked in the idea of this watercolor painting, but I feel like I could just put so much more detail and effort into this watercolor painting than I did. So I definitely look into redoing that in the future. This year I went through a phase of loving hummingbirds. I love hummingbirds. They're my favorite bird ever. So I wanted to create a watercolor painting of a hummingbird. So I tried to do this here and I think most of it turned out well, but there's one part that I wish I would have changed. Here is the hummingbird. I could not tell you what kind of hummingbird this is. I'll have to put it on screen. But the thing that I wish that I would have changed is the eyes. I was kind of rushing with this and wanting to get it done so I could move on to another project. So I rushed with the eyes and they look like human eyeballs. So I wish I would have made it more like hummingbird eyes and I think it would have turned out way better. This I quickly wanted to make for Mother's Day, but I never actually did end up giving it to my mom. So I really enjoy a lot about this art piece. I really like the metallic petals of these flowers, and I also really love the bee. The bee I think is really cute and simple, but still adds I think quite a bit to this watercolor painting. So this I thought would maybe also be a Mother's Day gift, but it ended up not being a Mother's Day gift. It kind of just turned into something for me to fool around with. So again, it's watercolor, but it's also Sharpie. So I just sectioned off this piece as I went, and I drew little different patterns and textures inside of it. So it's quite a busy, it's quite a busy art piece, but I really like it. The next two art pieces I would say are my favorite. They are 2D pieces and I love them. Just a forewarning that if you are scared of snakes, I would skip ahead because this artwork does have to do with snakes. But I made a albino and lavender hognose snakes. I really liked these snakes a lot. I wanted to make both this purple snake and an albino snake, which is kind of yellowy, to have some high contrast, because yellow and purple are complementary colors. Fun fact. But these are also actual real life morphs of snakes. So educational time with Izzy. And then with the albino case, it removes all of the dark pigment from the scales and the eyes of the snake. So that's why when people always look at albinos, or for animals at least, they always look for red eyes to see if they are truly albino. So morphs are actually something that changes the pattern or the color of a snake. So in this case, with the lavender morph, it changes the snake so that it's a cool kind of gray purple. I did exaggerate the color of the lavender snake so that there was more of a contrast between the albino and the lavender. So albinos, there's different kinds of albino snakes, but this one is the typical orange, kind of yellow albino. And stay tuned for these cute snakes because I have I'm planning a video that has to do with these snakes.
Okay, so I also forgot to talk about the locker I painted, but I did one painting on 3 different lockers, and it was based off of the Enchanted Forest painting that I made on the canvas. And I made it with one of my friends, and this brown-haired fairy is supposed to represent her, and this one blonde one's supposed to represent me. And yeah, we put a lot of work into it, a lot of detail, a lot of animals, and I'd say my favorite part would be the hummingbird. But yeah, it was really fun making this locker with her, and it was, yeah, just really fun.
I want to thank you guys for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment which art piece was your favorite. Also check out my Instagram at IzzyBee_Crafts. There'll be a link to it on my actual channel in the description. And I want to thank you guys for joining me and watching this video, and I hope I'll see you soon. Bye!